Welcome to the Shopify AliExpress Dropship course. And the first thing I want to do is say a massive thank you. I know your time is precious, but I also know you're not going to be disappointed with how much you are about to learn over the next several lectures. I have a massive amount of experience in this area and an enormous amount to share with you. But before we get going, the first thing I want to say is this course is about doing. Okay, it's not just about watching videos. So I really need you to take action if in fact you are going to change your life and build out a $10,000 per month business. Now, the first things I need to do is to lay the foundation stones for this whole thing on which we can build our business. So we've got a solid base. And I call those the essentials. Okay, so what are they? So the essential number one is the business model, or how you will make money. Okay, clearly you need to understand what it is that we're doing here. How are we going to make money? So in the next lecture, I'm actually going to show you a helicopter view of how that all works. You're going to see how exciting and achievable it really is. Essential number two is about setting up your free Shopify account. Okay, now Shopify, if you're not familiar with it, it is probably now the world's leading e-commerce platform for, let's say, non-technical people. All right, so it's very point and click. It's extremely intuitive. It's very, very easy to use. And dare I say fun. You're going to enjoy setting up your store with Shopify. Now, once we've set up that Shopify store, I want to give you a brief tour. Okay, sometimes it can be a bit daunting, particularly if you've never done something like this before in your life. So I'm just going to take you through your Shopify account, familiarize you with it, and put you at ease. So those are the three essentials, and I'm going to see you in the next lecture when we're going to dive into essential number one. All right, essential number one, the business model, or how you will make money. Clearly, it's absolutely essential that we understand at a high level exactly how this whole business model is going to work before we delve into the detail of the course itself. So let's just go through this step by step so that you clearly understand. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to build out an e-commerce store. Okay, you're going to build an e-commerce store. Now that might sound a little bit, frightening right now. Maybe you've never done anything like this before. Do not worry. I'm going to guide you step by step through this whole process. If you've never done it before, don't worry at all, please. It's all point and click. You don't need any technical knowledge, and it's actually really cool and fun to do this. You're going to see as we progress. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to build a store, but it's not going to have anything in it in the beginning. We're not going to have anything that we actually can sell to the public, which is clearly our goal. So we need to stock our store up. All right, we're not going to stock it up with physical products. We're purely going to put descriptions, images on there, okay, for people to buy from our store. But we need to be able to stock it from somewhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to a website called AliExpress.com. Now, AliExpress.com is a huge Chinese kind of equivalent of Amazon. At least that's the way I like to think of it. It's got thousands, maybe millions, I don't know, of suppliers, certainly millions of products in there, of anything you can think of. And compared to perhaps what we've seen on Amazon or other sites, the interest is that the prices are very, very reasonable. Now, just for example, let's imagine we find this t-shirt here for $3 on AliExpress. And I want to say straight away, this is not about selling t-shirts, okay? This is not about selling t-shirts. You can sell t-shirts if you want. You can sell anything. I'm just using this as an example, okay? So let's imagine that we found a t-shirt on here for $3 on AliExpress.com. Now what we're going to do is we will take the images of the t-shirt and we will take the descriptions of the t-shirt and we will simply put it on our site, and really the only thing we're going to change is the price. Okay, we're going to price it, in my example here, at $20. Okay, so maybe already you're starting to see how we're going to make some money here, right? So we've got our store set up now. We've got one product in it with the $20. Next thing we need to do is to find a customer who's going to buy our t-shirt. So here's our guy. Here's our stick man looking very trim. This is our customer wandering around in the wilderness. And one of the key things I'm going to teach you as part of this course is how to laser target these customers and bring them to your store. So people who want to buy t-shirts in this example will be brought to your store so that they will buy your products. Okay, so there's the arrow. Customer will buy the item from your site. Okay, so the customer has come to our site now, your ecommercestore.com. He's come to your site. He's bought this t-shirt for $20. Okay, now you now have $20 in your hands. Okay, note that we do not actually have any physical product to offer him. Okay, but we got the $20. So clearly what we need to do now is actually send him the t-shirt. And the way this works is that we will go over to AliExpress. You will buy the item from AliExpress, the t-shirt, and drop ship it directly to the customer. Okay, so basically, if you step back from that for a moment, we've never owned the product. The customer came to our site, bought the t-shirt for $20. We now have $20 in our hands. We go over to AliExpress.com, we buy directly from AliExpress.com, and we ask the supplier to ship it directly to the customer, right? Pretty cool. So the customer is now wearing our t-shirt and he also has a slightly bigger head and he's very happy. Okay, he's got his product. That in a nutshell is what we're doing. So let's just have a look, slight bit more detail about what that actually means in terms of business. So down in the right hand corner here, I've got some things popping up. So let me just draw your attention to that. So we sold it for $20 on your site. We bought it for $3 on AliExpress and we shipped it directly to the customer. Now let's just say, for example, we spent $2 on advertising. So that leaves us with a profit of $15 for that one transaction. And we can repeat that over and over again, each time making a substantial profit margin. Yeah? Have a little think about that. Take your time, because I want to just go now into the advantages of this. Maybe you're starting to see how powerful this model already is. So there are numerous advantages, but I'm pulling out the main ones here, okay? The first one is that you never have to own any stock. So you don't have to have a storeroom. You don't have to pay for storage. You don't have to worry about stock that you can't sell. None of that's going to happen, right? You're simply going to advertise the products on your site, and when somebody buys them, you will ship them direct from the supplier in China to the customer. You get the money up front, okay? Before you bought that item off AliExpress for $3, you'd already sold it for $20, so you don't have a cash flow problem. You never have a cash flow problem. You get the money up front. As I said to you before, there are no technical skills required. You're going to see using Shopify how easy it is to actually build out the store. It's all point and click. There are some fantastic apps which I'll introduce you to, which are going to make your life a lot easier. It really is actually good fun to do. You also don't need any prior knowledge of e-commerce. Trust me, I've been doing this for a few years now. When I first started, I didn't know anything about e-commerce at all. The concepts are, simple to grasp. You will master them in no time. And yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. And in fact, what's really exciting about it, if you like, is that it's very easily scalable. Over on the right-hand side there where I've written repeat over and over, it really is up to you how quickly, how aggressively you want to build out this model. You could use it to earn an extra $1,000 a month, yeah, or you could head towards a 100,000 plus business, annual a year. It's entirely up to you how you want to work this. Maybe you've only got half an hour a day because you've got a very busy life, or maybe you're looking to build your own business completely and you have all the time in the world, in which case you can build it out that much stronger. It's entirely up to you. It can fit around your current lifestyle. And yeah, it's highly profitable, as you've seen, $15 per t-shirt in this case, but again, I stress it could be any item. and you can run it from anywhere. Okay, you can run this from anywhere. This is a virtual business model. I've been working in this manner, working from my laptop in countries all over the world, and enjoying the freedom and flexibility that's given me for years. I mean, it's slightly scary how number of years it is now, but this is yet a great example of an amazing model that you can run from anywhere. So there you go. That's the model in a nutshell at a high level. If you don't understand every single aspect of it, don't worry. It'll all start to become crystal clear. I would perhaps encourage you to maybe watch this lecture one more time, just to, bed down those ideas. Make sure you've got a good grasp, at least, of what's going on. So in the next lecture, we're going to look at essential number 2, which is setting up your Shopify account, your Shopify website, if you like. Very exciting step, and the great news is I've got you negotiated a 14-day free trial, no obligation. So, no reason not to get going. So let's crack on to the next lecture. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is create our completely free Shopify account. And in fact, you're looking at the last slide here where I asked you to please click here to access Shopify. So if you haven't done that, please go back and click on the link. Now, when you click on the link, you will be taken straight to Shopify. And now we have some very simple steps that we're going to take in order to actually set up that free account. Now, the first thing we're going to do is enter our email address. So for me, tim@ecommercemindset.com, and then just simply click on Get Started. So now all you need to do is to choose some sort of password and then to select a store name. Now at this stage, you don't need to worry about coming up with the store name that you're ultimately going to use. Just choose any store name, because we can change all this later, as you'll see as we progress through the course. Now if you're struggling, just use your name, so in my case Tim for example, and then just put hot deals or super deals or bargain deals or whatever it might be on the end. So I'm going to do exactly that, and I'm just going to call it Tim's Super Deals, okay? And if it's not available, it will tell you at that point. Okay, so very, very straightforward. So just come up with a simple store name like that, and then just click on Create Your Store. Goes through a few setup steps, and then it asks us to tell us a little bit about ourselves, okay? So are you already selling? Please choose one. I'm going to choose I'm not selling products yet, okay? That's exactly where we are. And what is your current revenue? Well, at the moment, we are just getting started, okay? This you can leave unchecked, nothing you need to do there, and then just click on Next. Now this form, you'll see the title is Add an Address so you can get paid, okay? Jumping the gun a little bit, we haven't actually got to the point where you're making some great money, but nevertheless, it does need certain details. So you can see it needs the first name, the last name, your address. Again, all of this can be changed later, okay, if you need to. So I'm just going to fill in my details. And once I've done that, all I need to do is click on Enter My Store. And believe it or not, you'll then be looking at your store. Now, of course, a lot of this won't make sense. And that's what the next lecture is all about. I'm going to take you by the hand. I'm going to guide you through Shopify. I'm going to show you how all of this works. So please don't be overwhelmed. I'm going to take care of everything step by step. So super congratulations. You've done the first step of setting up your very own Shopify store. Okay, brilliant. You've reached essential number 3, which is understanding your Shopify account. Now, my job here is to make you feel comfortable, put you at ease, if you like, with Shopify, particularly if you've never seen anything like this before. I fully understand that it can be quite overwhelming. So by the end of this lecture, what I want to achieve is that you feel very comfortable with Shopify and, of course, excited about building out your business. So in the last lecture, I left you looking at this screen. Now, there's a couple of housekeeping points here, which are very, very important. First of all, that password that you use when you set up your Shopify store, please note it down somewhere, because you may need to log back into your Shopify system at some point. The second thing is, please bookmark this page so you can come back to it easily at any time. Now, before we get started looking at this whole menu structure and of course the store itself, you've probably noticed this button over here, this select a plan. And you should also have received an email from Shopify with details about your account, and within that there will be probably some mention of selecting a plan as well. Now, I don't want you to worry about any of this at the moment, okay? Just ignore this button. We have a 14-day free trial here to really explore this system, and that's exactly what we're going to do, okay? So please take no notice of that for the time being. So let's get down to business. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to click on this little eye icon next to where it says online store. And it will open up, believe it or not, your store, right? It has actually set up a store without doing anything. All of this for free, okay? So it doesn't look great, I admit, but we have a lot of functionality already in place. First of all, we've got Tim's Super Deals up here. We've got a home, we've got a catalog, we've got the ability to search, we've got a checkout. We've got some semblance of a home page with the ability to add an image and some sort of text overlay, as you can see. And as I scroll down, you quickly get the idea of how well this is set up for e-commerce store owners. So we've got a feature collection. Clearly we're going to be able to drop products into this whole thing. You know, we've got various ways we can display the products, and finishing up with some sort of slide at the bottom. Now, all of this is highly customizable, and we're going to be looking at this as we go through the course. But what's really, really cool is for absolutely nothing, in fact, just the few clicks of the mouse, we have some store set up. We have the bare bones, if you like, of our store. Now let's go back to what I call the admin system. You'll hear me referring to this page sometimes as the admin system, sometimes as the back end as we go throughout the course. Now I just want to make an analogy for you so you really understand the difference between the back end and the store itself, okay? So if you imagine a real store, right, when you walk into your shopping mall or you go into your local town, you have that front window, okay? That front window that displays all of the products and tempts you into the store. And when you're in that store, you're walking around, taking your time, looking at products. Now that's very much the front end, okay? The website itself. That's what that presents. It's presenting your store in the best possible manner, okay? Now this back end system is, if you like, the back end of the store. So let's just imagine there's somebody in the back room doing things like ordering the products themselves from suppliers, pricing those products, managing the customer accounts, all that kind of stuff. Now that's very much the back end, okay? So if you're at all confused, keep that analogy in mind. I really hope that helps you going forward. Okay, so let's delve a little bit more into this menu over here on the left-hand side. Now, we're on the home page currently. Now, these next three things basically go together. We've got the orders, the products, and the customers, okay? So obviously, we're going to be setting up our store. We are going to load it up with products, and you'll see how all of this comes into play as we go through the course. And then, of course, we're going to drive potential customers to the store where they are then going to make orders. So Shopify enables us to very, very easily add products in, all point and click, okay? No technical knowledge, don't worry about a thing here. Very easily add products into our store and modify them at any time. We can then very easily track and see the orders as they come in, and ultimately therefore building up our list of customers. So I hope you can see that nice little grouping there. That's really, for me, the core of the business, all right? Now, these next two are nice to haves, no question, but I'm not going to delve into them in massive detail in this course because they're not completely essential to you making money, all right? We've got analytics, which is basically enables us to see where customers have come from around the world visiting our store, and we've got the ability to apply discount codes. Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of a coupon code to get a discount on a product. That's where you can basically put that together. Now, the next one on the list, apps, is important, okay? Now, apps are very, very powerful. In fact, if I just click on this, you will see that we have various apps, okay, and we have an app store. So I just want to make another analogy at this point with your mobile phone, for example. If you've bought a smartphone, you will know that it comes with some fairly basic functionality. Let's say, just to keep things simple, the ability to make calls and perhaps send texts. So if you want to increase the functionality of your phone for whatever reason, let's say to get your local weather forecast, you might want to download an app onto your phone in order to be able to do that, okay? So you've increased the functionality of your phone with an app, and Shopify has exactly that. It has this app store with all kinds of amazing add-ons that we can download, that we can plug in to our store to massively increase its functionality. Okay, so some of them are free, some of them are paying, and we're going to be delving into this aspect as we go through the course. So don't worry about it too much at the moment. Just know that we can massively increase the functionality of our basic store at the moment with apps. Now this next section is the online store, and this is where we're going to manage the look and feel of our store itself. So if we just go back to it, it's all about changing this stuff here, okay? All the stuff that we were looking at just a few minutes ago. So what we can do here, for example, is with themes, which is super important, we are able to change very quickly the look and feel of our store. You're going to see all this stuff later on, all right? So I just want to basically make you aware of it at this stage. Blog posts I won't get into because I have another course that talks about building out a blog on Shopify. But pages, clearly we can add many pages to our store if we want to, and navigation is all about having a menu system that makes sense, and I'm going to delve into all of this stuff with you. Now, domains and preferences we will also be getting into, but that's less to do with the actual overall look and feel of the store. But there are some very, very important aspects that we are going to touch on going forward. Now, the last thing right down the bottom here are our settings. Now, if we click on this, you see a whole load of icons, okay? I don't want you to get overwhelmed at this stage. It's not necessary. I will introduce each one of these at the appropriate time. So at this stage, I just want to go to general, because this is where I said, and if you remember, you can change stuff later on, okay? So you remember I called mine Tim's Super Deals. If you want to change that name at this stage, then you can. That's where you come to do this, okay? You can change your email. We have the store address. Again, remember I said you could modify that? Well, that's where you would do it right in here, okay? And the other thing that is important is depending on where you are around the world, it should have already selected it by default. I'm in France, so it's basically picked my time zone and my various metric systems and kilograms, etc., set it to euros. Just check this and make sure that that all makes sense wherever you happen to be doing this course. Okay, so that's it. That's a helicopter view of Shopify itself. So as I said in the beginning, my mission was to put you at ease. I really, really hope I've done that. Please don't worry about the detail, okay? We're going to get into the detail. I just want you to feel comfortable. You know, this is all point and click. You cannot break this. In fact, I would encourage you to click around with your Shopify store now. Mess about a bit, not too much because I want to show you stuff as we go on, but please just click around and you're going to start feeling very, very comfortable in no time at all.